Haha. Hello, hello, hello. Wow, another week's gone by. Ha, can't believe it, I can't believe it. Time is speeding up. And very soon this is going to be last year. Yes. As you can see, I've been trying to get into the Christmas spirit because I said I'd produce a little sort of nativity idea for Henshaw's, and all of a sudden I realised it was December and it was time to like drag out all the old characters and give them a quick tart up and make some new ones and just do a little sort of nativity. Well, I wouldn't call it a nativity actually. I mean, it's funny, you know. Oh, hello, Katerina. Hello, hello. Tim. Oh, Timmo. Oh, ho, lovely people. Yes, I've been trying to get into the Christmas spirit. And you know something, I mean, what I really resist about Christmas, really, is the commercialism of it. You know, having to jump through the financial hoops, commercial hoops of expectation. But, you know, I mean, I think all of that was sort of more brought in from America. I mean, it's really been ramped up. And you know, the sort of slightly unfair thing is that when I lived in America, they had Thanksgiving. And you know, Thanksgiving is everything that Christmas should be. It's all about giving thanks and gratitude and family, and there's no presents, nothing. It is absolutely the pure thing. And that's their Thanksgiving over there. I mean, over here in England, we don't seem to do Thanksgiving so much anymore. I mean, I remember as a child, one of the schools, well, you get, you know, tins of beans on the front of the stage, but not the spirit of Thanksgiving as they know it over the pond. But having said that, I want to celebrate the spirit of giving, of sharing, of opening our hearts and welcoming the light back in, because that's what a lot of the candles and everything for, isn't it? But I thought with my nativity, I'd sort of, you know, well, I'd give it a slightly different interpretation. Anyway, I've been working on some of the figures, and I thought I'd share them. All is well. Thank you, Nasha. Ho, my sacred friend. Thank you. All is well. And here behind me, I have an interesting selection. I've been trying to cough up the Christmas spirit, as I was saying. I've been trying to cough up the Christmas spirit. And, you know, it must be so difficult. Apparently, the industry is actually producing Christmas in the middle of summer. I mean, it's December and I still have a hard time finding it. You know, bringing in the Christmas spirit. And it is the spirit of Christmas. It's not the commercialism. But having said that, if you feel obliged to give something for Christmas, give a living plant, give a plant that you've made into a soft pot, and you'll be giving something that's completely unique and beautiful and will last and last and last. And by the time you finish making your first soft pot, you will have got yourself a skill, a whole new skill in the tip of your fingers. Yes. Now, I thought I'd better introduce a few things here. As I said, Christmas, always a good time for hyacinths. This is a little hyacinths bowl. I mean, it's just a pretty little soft pot bowl, wearing a pretty little necklace, which, you know, the owner can share with the plant. But they're always a good bet for Christmas because they smell gorgeous, they hark of spring, and, oh yes, just lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, and working on, soft pots are good for indoors, by the way, and they wear jewellery. By the way, please like and share this video. I'm not very good at doing that sort of thing, and I've got a big thing there saying please like, share, subscribe. If you want a course, by the way, I do courses here at Henshaw's. You'll be able to download courses soon, complete with the kit, and then if you want to become a registered soft pot maker and have your own little business, you're welcome. Yes, right, anyway, let me know if you want anything like that. But these kits and everything to make these sort of things are available. Oh, hello, Alex. Ah, yes, you're off to India, aren't you, tomorrow? Woo, ho. You know, it's funny, you know, I was in India when I was 17, and I know that, you know, that's such a long time ago now, and I was there for about 2 years. But I know that it will have changed, but I also know that India will never change, and it's just the most wonderful, wonderful place, and they are the kindest of people. I really, really liked India. Right, okay, indoor plants. Now, here, you know something, I know it's always Father Christmas. Hello, Jill. Ha, hello. I mean, I know that it's all about Father Christmas, and probably in the old days it was a way of honouring the father figure who actually supplied everything, because women were, you know, completely dependent. And I think, yes, but I also think that, you know, Christmas is actually a time of tremendous strain for women, and it's time that, you know, Mother Christmas was honoured. And so in my little nativity scene, I've got Mother Christmas, and here she is. I can bring her forward, and yeah, this is Mother Christmas, because she works really, really hard to make Father Christmas's Christmas happen. And I think it's time that we honoured, you know, the mother. Yes. Anyway, as I said, I am a dreadful artist. I'm not an artist. I'm not even a gardener. But I just give it a go. And this is my Mother Christmas, and she represents something. And the lovely thing is, you know, with Softpots, they're very forgiving. If it's really, really bad, you can just paint it out and have another go. And I can't tell you how many goes I've had. If you are any sort of painter, any sort of artist, you can paint the most incredible Softpots. I have an artist friend, Chloe Middleton, amazing Softpots. And I've still got them out there. Some of them are sort of growing moss with, as well as the paint. But I mean, astonishing Softpots. So yes, artists out there, remember this. The whole thing about making sculptures and painting and all the rest of it would actually come out in the second half of the course. If you wanted to do, know about all those other sort of things, then all the weird stuff, that would be in the second half of the course if you wanted to take it. Right, anyway, on we go. This is my Father Christmas, and as you can see, they've all been out in the sun a lot. But there he is. And again, you know, they're quite easy to make and just wonderful. And strangely enough, you don't always have to have a plant in them. Oh, hello. Hello, Jane. Nice to see you. Thank you very much. Carol Higgins. Oh, happy Saturday to you too, Carol. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I was just saying, Jane, I was showing people my sort of, I'm going to bring a version of well, I wouldn't say that, well, it is a sort of nativity. I'm going to put it up in Henshaws in the garden area there. And I've just introduced Mother Christmas and Father Christmas. And, well, this is actually, it was, I don't know quite what, but I just thought, oh yes, well, I'll make one of those. And then I found this tree thing in a second-hand shop, and I just think it just sits just right on there. And so that's how he's going to the ball. But as I said, there are just so many different things that you can do. Let me get rid of Father Christmas, put him down there. Mother Christmas, I really, really like her. I think it's so important to honour all the women who work so hard. I mean, it's the hardest time of year in a way. This is just a little doodah I did. I like Pussy Willow, and it's lovely indoors, lovely outdoors, and this one's wearing feathers. I mean, Softpots are the kindest form of container for any plant, indoors or out. There's no doubt about it. You can put things in. You can put things into soft pots. This is my little clock. And the ivy, this has been going for 6-7 years. Yeah, happy as Larry, isn't it? And you know why? It's because soft pots are really kind to plants. The roots grow normally, you don't get root spiralling, and it's really easy to make a bonsai. I mean, plants aren't stupid, you know. They get the message. And if you just rub the roots off... Hello, John! Oh, there we are. I still haven't solved my YouTube to Facebook, but I understand what you mean about doing it from Facebook and having a link from YouTube to link to Facebook. But I can't figure it, John. I can't. Anyway, yeah, just thought I'd just show you that. Yeah, soft pot. Once you make a soft pot, the likelihood is you will have that plant for a long time. Now, something like this is a lovely little present to make and give. I mean, the wonderful thing is this is just a little £1 ivy, but I've turned it into something that's precious. And soft pots, they have a magic about them, and they have a preciousness about them. And not only are they better for the plant, because the roots grow naturally and they can absorb the ground and the rainwater, and if they're outdoors, they have a better connection to the earth's energies. They just make you happy when you make them. I do try to encourage you. You can go onto my website. I think Steve might put up a link. And I do all sorts of kits available, you know. Have a go. You'll understand then why you want to kiss your soft pot. It's only by feeling it and squeezing it and actually doing it that you can really appreciate how wonderful they are. Yes, there's something magical, something sacred about them. See? And they're always totally random. And you don't have to be an artist to make them. Even the blind have made them and they've been absolutely beautiful. Yes. This is an old chap. This was my first Santa. And he was actually started off as a gnome. And then he became Santa. And every year I give him another coat of red paint. And he looks really fed up, doesn't he? But if you see the back there, that's got quite an established little upright ivy in it. And it's got a strawberry plant. And this, you know, must be 12 years old. I've had him a long time. And he's sort of scowling. There's something about him that actually reminds me of Nicky Flood. If anybody out there remembers Nicky Flood, you'll see what I mean. But I absolutely love this old Santa. And then after Christmas, if I want to, I can repaint him, make him, you know, a nice green or brown, and he looks a lot happier. But he has to come out every Christmas for a quick touch-up. There we go. And you see, there's his sack. A bit scowly. And then as part of the rest of the scene, I've sort of got Mother Christmas, Father Christmas, and I mean Christmas is and then we're into the new year, the birth of the new year. So I thought, rather than have a baby in a crib and go on that one, I'm working, don't laugh, on sort of, he's a little Buddha-like figure, and it says 2018 on his head, and I found these stones, and they absorb the light during the day and then glow at night, and I've put different healing, peace, all the wishes for the new year. And hopefully I'm hoping that other people will come along and write some wishes in as well and put them in. So yes, I mean, that's my sort of nativity. Welcoming in the light and the new year. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. got some other strange ones too. Yes, yeah, the father, I mean, thing is, if you've got the time, you can fiddle with it, you can make them. I mean, that whole thing is, again, just made out of stockings and tights. And of course, you finish up with folds that are quite natural. It's really quite a revelation. Oh, what else have I got? I brought in, this one is very old. Very old. And I gave her I wonder if I can put it on there. Yes, I gave her a new coat of paint and a bit of a touch-up. But this ivy, I mean, she's very old really, she must be 15 years old. And this ivy has been growing all that time. Now the wonderful thing is it looks like it's just in that head bit. But in fact, the ivy goes all the way down. And that's why it can survive so well. And can you see I've got birds in there? I just thought it was sort of honouring the birds and the season, and sort of looks a bit like an Indian lady. Right, you put that one down there. And then finally, this one's really old as well. I find that when you make soft pot sculptures, they last a really long time. And they might be outside, they might grow a bit of moss, or might not like that. Wash it off, give them another coat of paint, and boom, they're remade. I mean, a soft pot garden is just different from any other sort of garden you'd ever see. If you go to Henshaw's, look at my website, there's all sorts of, just so many forms. But this one's really old, and I think I'm going to make her, maybe give her some angel wings or something. Yes, and this one, again, is entirely painted except for underneath, and this has just got... But you can see, you know, if you could paint, my stuff has to be really simple. But if you can paint, oh my goodness me, you'll have a wild time. Now, I brought two things in with me today. I wasn't sure which to do, so I'm going to ask you. I've got that little Christmas cactus from last week. Or I have a little fir tree, a little conifer. Da-da, da-da, you choose. Little conifer, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, there's lots of indoor plants that you can make now, and outdoor plants. Just because the summer's over, doesn't mean to say there aren't any plants out there. There's lots and lots of lovely plants, and you know they're the loveliest thing to give as a gift. Make a soft pot. Can't do better. You can make a soft pot to match anybody's decor, anybody's eye colour, and you can turn a simple, humble little plant like this into the most beautiful gift to give. And Christmas is about giving, isn't it? And sharing. And when you make a soft pot, you share the love. Yeah. Right, what do you think? John? Jill. Come on, first in. Little Christmas tree, little Christmas cactus. Ba ba ba. Do I make an executive decision? Pink Christmas plant. Carol, hello. Ha ha ha. Ah, thank you very much. Right, we're going to make a little pink Christmas cactus. Thank you very much. I like both. Right, little pink cactus it is. Thank you, Carol. Now, what am I going to do with that? By the way, these are the kits. These are the kits that you can get. That's a £10 kit. It can make 5 soft pots, easy. On my website, Steve might put up a link. But that's a £10 kit, and £20 kit make up to 15. You can have a soft pot party. Yeah. Right, as you know, that all soft pots are actually made out of ladies' tights and stockings. And if you want really beautiful soft pots, Christmassy soft pots, with all the shiny, glittery bits shining through, then this is what you need. But you need 10 denier, the sheerest, shiniest, glossiest stockings you can get your hands on. I have to admit, I tend to use black a lot because black, for some reason, doesn't look like a stocking, and all the colours at the end just really jump through. But you can use any colour. Just don't go for the anything more than 10 denier, because it just won't work. It's just thick and heavy, and you can't see the glittery bits. And if you go anything beyond sort of, well, 15 denier, I mean, if you tried it with a 60 denier, you get something that looks frumpy. It doesn't show its colours, and yeah, stick to 10 denier, sheer, shiny, glossy. If you ask your friends, ask for stockings, not tights, otherwise you'll tend to get all the really heavy duty stuff that's knocking about at the moment. Yeah. Right, gravel. Always start with some gravel, because soft pots are actually really, really light. And when I make a big hanging basket or something like that, I don't... Oh, where's the ring? Ring comes with a kit. Very handy, actually, for holding the leg of the stocking open while you're shoveling things into it. I use this again and again and again. But having said that, I mean, you could include that if you wanted as a collar, but I wouldn't. There's much more interesting ways of making collars and cuffs. Oh yes, bangles, all sorts of different things. Right, where's my... there it is. I'm just going to pop in just a little bit of weight there. And you see that sand that came out? This is washed gravel. If you pick up gravel from outside or just stones, anything to give it some weight, give it a wash. Because actually, if there's sand, too much, it just keeps on coming through a stocking. And you don't want that. This is washed gravel, and even that still has some sand in it. See that there? Yeah. Right. When it comes to the compost, any sort of compost that's right for the plant will do just fine. But if you just put compost into a leg of stocking, I promise you it won't work. What happens is that the remit of a good stocking is to constrict. And what it happens is that it just constricts and constricts and constricts until actually in the end you can't get water in or out. Your plant will die, your sculpture will just shrivel, and it won't work. You really do need something to actually stop that compaction. And the best thing that I have found, and also the least expensive, and greenest, is this. Now, I call it Softpot Good. And you see that? That is beautiful. It's incredibly light, and it looks like chunks of gold, doesn't it? And that's the secret of the soft pot. It's a natural mineral. It comes from volcanoes, and they blow it up like popcorn. And when it's inside a soft pot, it resists that compaction. It absorbs the water and the nutrients, and it releases it slowly, a bit like porridge. It releases it slowly, and your plant is very well behaved. When you water it, it just sucks it up like a sponge, and when you pick it up, it's not drippy or soggy. Soft pots are really well behaved, you know. It's the business. People say, oh, well, couldn't I use perlite? I would say no, because every time you water with perlite, it moves up to the top. And after a couple of weeks, you've got what looks like the aftermath of a festival on the top of your pot, and underneath, you've got that compaction starting to happen. With Soft Pot Gold, it stays where you put it, and it's a very, very, very beautiful looking mix. I'll show you. When it's inside a naked soft pot, it's absolutely beautiful. Right, I'm going to fill my soft pot now. I've got the mix here, and it goes a long way to soft pot gold, you know. For every 3 scoops of compost, whatever the measure, I put 1 of soft pot gold. And you finish up with something that, well, it looks like a rather scrummy sort of cake mix. See? That's 1 to 3. If it's a wet plant, or it's in super dry conditions, but it wants to be damp, put more in. If it's cactus, put less. Right, I'm going to fill the soft pot now. And you know something nice about soft pots? You only need 1 plant to give you a thrill. And you don't get a bad back from digging. And you don't need loads and loads of plants and have to dig them all in and then get them all out. You just need 1 plant. And it's honouring the plant. I mean, you can make bowls, big bowls with lots and lots of different ones. But at this size, it's just 1 plant. And it's just a lovely way of honouring it. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually dangling my stocking over the top of the bucket and sort of letting gravity do the work, really. There we are. I filled up my stocking, got gravel, compost mix, off. I'm doing the bounce. This is the bounce. And when you do it, it doesn't matter how old you are, it brings out your inner child. It feels lovely. And when it gets down to the bottom, it's just the nicest feeling. And there we are. And you see how beautiful. See how beautiful that is in there. If you put a plain soft pot outside, you know, it'll grow its own moss. It'll grow its own patina. And it's beautiful. Or if you don't think it's beautiful, you just take a damp cloth and wipe it off, because soft pots are washable. And if they've been in the house for a while, they get dusty like everything else. Just give it a quick wipe with the damp cloth, and boom, they come up all bright and shiny like the day they were made. Right, I'm doing the donut now. I don't need the ring anymore. Take the ring out. Da-da. Going to do the donut. And what I'm doing is got my thumbs in there, and I'm going around and I'm squeezing. And it feels absolutely lovely. I mean, soft pots are just so therapeutic. It feels like dough. It's just gorgeous. And I suppose it's really earthing as well, because, I mean, you're dealing with the earth. And stones, and the rocks and the stones and the crystals. And the power of the earth. Right, walked it down, giving it a stretch. Come to me, my beauty. Come to me, come to me. Close your eyes. Now, this is the most difficult bit, actually, about making a soft pot, is getting your plant into the pot. And sometimes it can get really messy, especially if it's really dry or really wet. This, let's see. Generally, anytime I'm doing it in public, it all goes wrong. But, you know, that's the way it is, and you have to take the risk, don't you? The wonderful thing with soft pots is that, you know, if it isn't right, budge it till it is right. Right, stretching the neck. They're so unprescriptive, but this bit you need to do. Get your pot, your plant, stretch the neck of that as wide as you can make it, and then, ideally, in one deft movement, just drop the plant in and bring it up over the top there. Right, see, it's standing quite proud above the top of the pot. And what I'm going to do now is, at this stage, I think I should show you if it... See, it's just standing on the top there, haven't forced it down. I mean, soft pots are just so kind to plants, you know. They really are. And I mean, Christmas is about kindness, and I think, you know, I mean, at one point I was thinking about starting a petition about the sentience of plants, but actually I don't think I would get anywhere, would they? Because they voted down on the sentience of animals. So plants just don't get a look in. But, you know, there's a case to be made for it, I think. Now, all right, where are my scissors? I walked off with them, put them down somewhere, and now I don't know where they are. Oh, there they are. Sorry about that. The pink one, good, good, good. Oh, right. Little pair of scissors, off we go. Now, as you know, on the Saturday Softpot Club, I only teach everything I can do with a simple softpot, because the idea behind it is that you'll want to make a simple softpot and you'll get a kit and you'll go, oh yes, 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 but how do you make the bigger ones, this shape, that shape, and then you'll think, oh yes, actually I want to do the course. So this is just sort of to give you a taster, really. Right, now, at this stage, it's standing proud, there we are, thumb on its shoulder, bring up the compost. Just bring up the compost and tuck the plant in. I always tend to think of it a bit like putting a child to bed. Pop it in and then bring up the blankets, and there we go. Now, just going to pick it up and just give it a bit of a jiggle. You can give it a little roll to round it in. I mean, at this stage, it doesn't particularly matter what shape you give it, because at the end, when you've finished, it will take any shape you want to give it, and remember. So, right, here we go, here we go. Just going to pop that there. Get rid of that. Bring this back. Now, what I've got here is a slice of tite that I chopped off the leg of another tite, and I cut it in half, cut that loop in half, so I've got a stretchy bit of string. And then I'm going to take that stretchy bit of string and I'm going to tie it round the neck. And as I tie it round the neck, just when you get to the point where you can feel through the stocking that you're touching the plant, but it's a little bit tight but not too tight, and you can still get your finger in there. That's it. That's where it wants to be. After a while, you can feel through your fingertips. Always stick, if you're making ties, anything like that, always make the tie with the stocking, because you can feel, and your fingers rely on knowing, you just know when the tension's right. Because softpots are all about tensioning in many ways. Right, so there we are, we've got a happy little home for our softpot. And by the way, I just thought I'd mention maybe we could do a little competition. I've been working on my Christmas puddings, but as I said, I'm no artist, and my efforts at the perfect sauce leave something to be desired. They're just not right. I had one which was perfect, and I lost it years ago. And for whatever reason, I just cannot make another one as good. So, if anybody would like to get have a go at making the perfect sauce for your Christmas pudding, please let me know. There we go. If that was a plain soft pot, I would fit my little bit of felt round there. Maybe pin it with a little bit of holly or something, or a berry. But there you are, one lovely, lovely, lovely little Christmas pudding. And I mean, that one sort of works quite well for that one, but it could be a lot better. Do you know what I mean? And this one, see what you think of this one. This is really for a small one, but for a really, really small one. But again, you know, could be better. Could have a better sauce. You know, I'm after the perfect sauce for my Christmas pudding. So if anybody's got, you know, a really nice pattern that would work, I'd really, really appreciate, you know, if you would share it with me. Because yes, I mean, you've got to have the perfect sauce, haven't you, for Christmas pudding? Right, on we go. So there we are, a challenge. Please send me your pattern for the perfect sauce for a Christmas pudding. Ideally cut out of felt. Felt's quite good, and if you spray the other side, then it doesn't absorb any of the water or anything, the dampness. So that's quite good. Just protect the other side when you put it round, and then you use it again and again, year after year. Right, here we go, back to this one. Now, happy little Christmas cactus. Let's start with some pink. Let's have a pink petticoat. Always want to start off with a petticoat, and it doesn't really matter. I often find that I reflect the colours that are already in the plant. It's a bit like having blue eyes and wearing a blue jumper. It, poof, just enhances it. And it's the same with a plant. And this one, I'm just going to reflect its pinkness, I think, for the moment. And I've got that bit of organza. When it comes to dressing your soft pot, beware. You want to use synthetic materials only. Don't use anything that's natural. There's only one thing I've found that I can use safely that's a natural material. Everything else is off the market. Because what happens is when it's cracked between the layers, you go slimy, and it's horrible. Cotton, linen, felt, silk, sacking. No. All sorts of scarves, anything with synthetic, with texture, with colour. All of that's fair game. But never involve anything natural in your soft pot. That's really quite crucial. Right, let's have a look. Ooh, let's have a look. We're going to have to do the pink glittery thing, aren't I? Gosh, it's Christmas. I mean, I always find that by the time it gets to the end of Christmas, you know, I'm quite into it. But I have a severe resistance. And as I was saying, you know, the Americans, they get Thanksgiving, and that is a pure festival. There's no commercialism of Thanksgiving. They get Christmas. Unfortunately, you know, we don't get the spirit of Christmas like they do in their Thanksgiving. We're stuck with their commercialism, the commercialism of it, but we don't have our own special harvest time. We used to have harvest festivals, and it was a really big and very, very important thing. I remember I lived in Wiltshire as a child. During the summer holidays, I used to go down there and live on the farm, and it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I mean, pigs were kept as pigs outdoors. The chickens used to come running out of the fields and roost in the trees. You know, everything seemed more cared for, less industrial. And these days, I don't know, we just seem to be spending all our time jumping. They keep us jumping through hoops. They keep us distracted from what's really important. Right, here we go. I've stuck some sticky bits in. I've used that tie that's round there just to tuck things in. Because you know, the nice thing about soft pots is that you don't need pins, needles, anything sharp and pointy more than a blunt pair of scissors. So it's lovely for children. Right, here we go. Now, still continuing on with the pink thing. Oh, maybe green. Have I got any green? Ah, there's green. This is wonderful stuff. This comes in my kit as well. And you can't go wrong. It goes a long way. And you can fluff it up light as a cloud. And this is the only natural material that I can use okay. Everything else is no good. But this is just wonderful. And it acts as a grip for everything else that we're going to chuck on our soft pot. And so it's worth having. And you don't need very much. And you can blend them. You can twist it. You can do all sorts of things. And yep, here we go. Just need a little bit of this. Just gonna fluff it up. Oh, maybe fluff it up with a bit of pink. Oh, oh, oh. There, that feels a bit like a Christmas pink, doesn't it? Yeah, let's have some of that. It's amazing how colours affect you. When I had to shop in York, I never allowed anybody to play with the black, because a lot of the time people were coming in and, you know, often, you know, they were depressed. Well, I could pick the depressors because they go for black. And actually, by obliging them, taking the black out of the range, I found that, you know, it obliged people to use colour. And it's a very, very therapeutic thing to do, you know, make soft pots. And using colour is so important and so telling. I've had a number of people say that making a soft pot's got them out of depression. And I think actually, in a way, it does. It's because it's connecting to you to your own creativity. It's connecting you to the earth, the plant, your creativity. It's just the best package. Now, got myself like a little base ball gown there, and I'm just going to hook some of that. Just going to hook some of this colour grass just underneath that tie that I made, just to make sure it doesn't drop down too far. And then, oh, I've got a bits box, and it's got all sorts of bits in it, shiny bits with texture. It's well worth getting your own bits box, because you'll always find you use it, and it saves having massive piles of stuff all over the place. And I'm just tucking in different things, just different bits of things that I like. Yeah, let's have a little bit of that. Netting, that's good. There we go. Wools, ooh. Yes. Actually, I have to admit, I got quite a lot of this green, and I just love this. It's sort of got a little bit of texture to it. And again, when I say wools, I mean acrylics. Real wool does rot. It develops a sort of mouldy look if it's been outside long enough. I mean, personally, I rather like the look of it. But in theory, in practice, it's much better to just use acrylic material, acrylic wools. Anything synthetic. And the thing is you go, ooh, well, you know, synthetic things, but actually, I find that with a soft pot, if you make it as a reusable soft pot, which you can, I found that I can just take out the old gubbins, use it again, use the soft pot again, take out the decorations, if it's beyond repair, just take out what I want and reuse them. So, I mean, soft pots are reusable, and you can reuse the things that are in the soft pots. So, nothing is necessarily lost. Right, let's just put on some more interesting, need some Christmassy things. Trying to rev up for Christmas. Gold's good. Gold's always a good one, isn't it? Now these are sort of those fake wedding leaves. Fake gold wedding leaves. I think I got them in the pound shop or somewhere. Just going to pop those on. There we are. And basically what you're doing is you're building a bit, a ball gown for a fairy going to the ball. And, I do like to say that, even if you can't, find your inner fairy at the start, by the time you've finished, your inner fairy has found you. So, yes, don't despair, just keep putting it on. I mean, people say, oh my goodness me, what chaos, what... Yes, it does look like chaos. And then you watch at the end, there's a magical bit, and it all turns into order and beauty. And that's the magic, that's the transformation of a soft pot. Anyway, let's keep on going. Yes, when in doubt, bling it out. There we go. This is the stuff that you can only get at Christmas. Get it now before it's gone. I mean, most of the time, I do sell the basics on my website. Everything that you would have an awful job trying to find if you had to go out. The soft pot gold, colour grass, all of that. Believe me, the cheapest way to get soft potting is to buy either a £10 kit, a £20 kit. Oh, by the way, I also do gift vouchers, Let me know. I do one soft pot making session, which is an hour, and that's £20. And I also do the whole day course, which is £150, and that's the whole day, including all plants, all materials. And it's at Henshaw's in the horticulture room. And it's just wonderful there. It's well worth a day trip. So yes, come along to Henshaw's. The soft pot garden is there. We're doing a sort of nativity thing. So please, 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 come along. Have a walk around Knaresborough, visit Henshaw's, come and see the soft pot garden and my weird soft pot nativity. Right, let's get on with this then. Let's put some more on. La la la. As I said, when in doubt, glitter it out. And what you want is, you'll know it's ready when it looks like a fairy going to the ball. And it looks impossible to remember that there's actually a plant in there, and this is what you're going to do with it. I'm just popping on some sequins here. Now, I'm quite lucky. I've got quite a few sequins, one way or another, and at the moment I've got them in different colours, which makes it really, really, really exciting. Now, what have I got here? No, I don't think purple. No. Let's just do some gold. When in doubt, sequin it out. That's what I say. There we go. And the thing is that all these things, you might not see it all immediately, but as the colour grass fades back, so everything else that you've got under there actually moves forward, and you'll find that your soft pot just evolves for years and years and years. And if you give it as a gift, it will give immense pleasure for years and years and years. And this is just a little Easter Christmas cactus. So here we go. Going to get my fingers, going to stretch it out. Get my fingers in, going to stretch it out, and to bring it round, that shape, thumbs on the back, grab it, bring it down, bring it round. And at this stage, all this stuff is all sticking out. Don't be tempted to push it under. That would be a big mistake. What you want to do is, at this stage, while it's sitting there, the underside is clear. You want to pick it up, grab it, grab its bum, don't let go. And then, bring that stocking down right over your arm. There we are. Going to push that, everything that's below the level of the pot, just going to push that back up. And there's no point being myopic with a soft pot, because this is where it all changes. And then you can bring it back down again. What you need to do is make sure that it's clear underneath, that it has a very definite area that is not covered, because that's where it's going to absorb its water and nutrient. So there we go, there we go. Now, that's relatively, you always get a little bit under there, but you know, that's okay. That's okay. Right, going to turn that upside down. This bit is called the twiddle, and it's really for our benefit. I don't think the plant particularly appreciates it. Oh, hello, David. Oh, hello, Steve. Turn it upside down. Get it close to its bum so it doesn't get too dizzy, and then twizzle it. And this is a bit of a magic bit, really. This is where the welding of the earth, the plant, and your creative spirit all come together. And by spinning it, you're making that as sheer as it's possible to make it. See? And now all the colours have jumped through. And it's beautiful. Yeah? Right, so now I've done the twizzle, I'm going to just tie a knot as close to its bum as possible. I'm all fingers and thumbs. Need to watch its head. That's it, just one simple knot, and then cut the umbilical cord and your soft pot is born. And at this point you can give it any shape that you like. And I mean, all soft pots tend to be fat bottom girls. They quite naturally, you know, sit very comfortably on the earth. They're wider at the base and narrower at the top, generally anyway. Sort of the opposite of a plant pot, really. They're like that. So there we are. We've got our little Christmas cactus in a happy little soft pot. And that looks, you know, yeah, quite Christmassy. I mean, I'm still not really there yet, am I? No. But see if I can get more Christmassy next week. Yes, I tried to put some tinsel in my hair and I just could not do it. Maybe I'll have passed the Rubicon by next week. But yes, that's a pretty little soft pot. And you know something, you can always add these little twizzly bits as well. I mean, it's getting to sticky time, isn't it? You can put bows and all sorts of things on. I find that when you see these little twizzle sticks, these are quite handy because they sort of instantly give a bit of something special. And you can just stick that in there. There we go. Now, I would be tempted, I don't know, I mean, I would be tempted almost to put some little beads on there, but that's a bit fiddly. Oh, hello, Katie. Yes, so now I've made my little soft pot. The best thing to do is just pop it in some water. I've got a bowl here, and I just pop it in my little water bowl. Pour in some water and feed if you like. Leave it for about 10 minutes and you'll find that when you pick it up, it's not too pure soggy, it's sucked it all up, it's like a sponge. And then when you put it out, you can put it on any sort of container. It doesn't have to be one of those big plastic dish things at all. Little things like that, those are good. I find, you know, that those plastic lids off tubs, those are really, really good. You don't need to have a great big dish at all. Oh, can I see your Father Christmas sack? Oh, yes, yes, where is he? Come to me, come to me. There we are. This one's, well, he's very old, and he takes quite a bit of, the sack took quite a bit of doing, but that whole thing, I mean, I'm amazed that it's still going. But, yeah, that's him. He always looks sort of grumpy, and every year I sort of give him a quick coat and drag him out of the bushes. But yes, it's got an ivy and a strawberry plant, and it's well over 10 years. And yeah, as I said, I'm not a good gardener. They do look after themselves. Yeah, and let me show you. This is my star today. This is Mother Christmas. I thought it was time to honour the mother. The Mother Christmas that worked so hard to bring Father Christmas's Christmas to us. So yes, I thought I'd honour Father and Mother Christmas this year. And Father and Mother Christmas give birth to a baby called 2018. I can show you a little bit. It's a little bit weird. It's got 2018, and all the way around here I found these stones, and they glow in the dark, and so that one says peace, and they're basically all the wishes for 2018. And I thought, that's sort of quite a nice thing, because it's the birth of light and the birth of the new year, and it all starts with love and kindness and sharing. So anyway, hopefully I've shared something worth having. Today, I must say, I really enjoyed doing the Saturday Softpot Club, and I'm just so grateful to all of you who tune in and see me and say hello. Thank you very much indeed. Well, next week, with any luck, I'll be a bit more Christmassy. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? I might get some tinsel. That's the thing, is once you've got a bit of tinsel in your hair, maybe that will evoke the spirit of Christmas. As it is, I'm not tinsely at all this week, but we'll see what happens next week. And hopefully you'll join me. And in the meantime, I wish you a happy, healthy week ahead, and lots of love and joy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye for now.